And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Bucky and BK. Today is Wednesday, August 26th, 2026. And the Buck and I are with you all for the next 2 hours. On today's show, the SEC says no to the NFL. What does it mean for the Longhorns, and what does it mean for the future of college football? Speaking of the Longhorns, an update on Trevor Goosby. Will the Longhorns All-American left tackle be ready to go when Texas takes the field 10 days from now against Texas State? We'll dive in. We've got more sound from Steve Sarkisian, some sound from Arch Manning, some sound from Juice Cryer to get into as well. Plus, Vegas odds for the first coaches to get fired in college football and the NFL. Got some MLB to dive into. We'll pay our respects to Dolly Parton. We've got the BBK news and why today's not so bad. We are locked, we are loaded, and we are ready to roll on a jam-packed Hump Day edition of the program. We appreciate y'all spending some of your Wednesdays with us. Happy Hump Day, my man. How are you today?
I'm good. It's a great day, another great day here in Central Texas, and in the tiny hamlet of Dripping Springs, it's even better. You know, it's going to be, we're getting towards, it's starting to cloud up a little bit, so that's right. You want it rain, you may get some starting tomorrow. You're not going to get it today, but there's a good chance of tomorrow night, maybe a little bit on Friday. So I'm trying to get my weather's cap back on because we could use it. Just even a spritz would do me right now from where I am out here. I like for somebody to just come and spit on me. That'd be good because it's still kind of gross. It's gross this morning. I thought, you know, after yesterday with the cloud, when I saw the clouds starting to set in yesterday evening, that I'd wake up to a little bit of cool weather. Not so fast, my friend.
No, this is a family program. We don't need to hear about what kind of kinks that you have and what kind of preferences you have. So save that for something else, please.
Yeah, it's still pretty sticky. It's going to be that way today, but there'll be parts of the area that will get rain tomorrow, I believe, and possibly Saturday. But it's not going to be much because we get right back after it again on, you know, Sunday back in the 102s and all those weird numbers. When do we get to the 85s? When people are saying, isn't it hot at 85? And I'm going, oh, it's so pleasant out here. That would surely, hey, it'd be nice if it was 85 at night at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Hey, you're the weatherer. I don't know why you're asking me. I don't know these things.
Remember, I don't do temperatures. You're asking the wrong guy about temps and hurricanes and tornadoes. I don't do those things. I'm a bona fide rain man. So
yeah, they do compare you to Rain Man.
Yeah, an awful lot. Hey, good day to the soldiers at Fort Hood, Texas, the soldiers in the state of Texas, and all those that fight for us each and every day. Thank you. We do appreciate what you do for us each and every day. And to you and your families, please be safe out there. And I hope you folks out there, you kids, and some of you nice girls out there took a freshman to lunch yesterday.
Yeah, I hope you ruin your social life by taking the loser kid to lunch.
and his whole group and her whole group. Lose all your friends because you took a freshman to lunch.
I got some feedback from that segment yesterday, that's for sure. But,
take a freshman to lunch.
Yeah, the Tip for Car line back each and every Tuesday. So we'll see what you have in store for the people next Tuesday. But we are a nice round 10 days away from Texas opening up the 2026 college football season against Texas State. And I guess the biggest story involving Texas football, it involves Texas, but it involves every team around the country. Buck, the SEC did the right thing. Yesterday, a few hours after the Big Ten passed a rule stopping players from returning from the NFL to playing college football, the SEC followed suit. There was a meeting yesterday with league presidents, chancellors, and athletic directors, and the conference announced a strict policy on the matter, releasing details across its social media channels. The SEC announced that its institutions are, quote, not permitted to have an athlete on its roster who has either previously declared for the NFL, NBA, or WNBA draft and did not appropriately withdraw. Number two, signed a contract with an NFL, NBA, or WNBA team. And number 3, been listed on an NFL, NBA, or WNBA roster.
Yes.
So common sense has prevailed. Obviously, this became a national story earlier in the week when LSU had a deal in place to sign a player who was playing on the Cleveland Browns as recently as Monday. Again, the Big Ten made the announcement first earlier in the day yesterday. The SEC followed suit. And again, pretty nice to know that college sports is going to stay reserved for college players, Buck.
Student athletes.
Oh, I'm not using that term. I ain't going that far. They're still kind of professionals, but you can't go to the pros and then decide, you know what, I want to go play in college instead.
How about just paid athletes?
They are just paid athletes, and at some point they should be considered paid employees of the school, and we're trying to fight that for as long as we can for some reason. But where we stand right now, we're not there.
Yeah, I waited around. I watched Feinbaum show probably almost an hour and almost 2 hours into his show, and he was waiting to hear from the presidents and the commissioner. He said he hadn't heard anything, had been quiet, but he had expected that was going to happen, and it did. And I think it was unanimous, like 16-0, that they were all for that. Well, I mean, if it was 16-0, what the hell was the president of LSU? Why did he let that happen? I mean, what? I mean, did you just need these other guys to push you over the hump or something?
Yeah,
that you couldn't do that yourself?
I mean, at the time, there was no rule in place, right? And
yeah, I
don't
guess
know if there were discussions about a rule even being in place before, yesterday or 2 days ago. So LSU was like, oh, here's a loophole, and we're trying to win. We don't have any shame. We'll do whatever it takes. We've proven that over the decades.
Yeah, we have no shame. I mean, that's just weird to me that guy, I mean, if he voted and made it 16-0, that he wouldn't have done that himself and said, it's just not right, because I guess people aren't going to do just the right thing. They're just not going to do it.
I guess I'll give LSU credit. Like with Texas Tech and the Brendan Sorsby situation, they doubled, tripled, and quadrupled down. LSU, I think, only doubled down. They could have really tripled down yesterday if they voted against this, like you're saying.
That's true.
Like, this was 15-1, and LSU was like, no. This is perfectly fine. You guys are wrong. We're right. That would have been, again, tripling down. But they, I don't know if they deserve a lot of credit, but they, I guess, voted in favor of common sense.
Right. We definitely would have known Tech would have been that one that voted against it for sure. You're right.
Oh, yeah. And we'll see, the announcement concluded with an annotation that Commissioner Greg Sankey is authorized to enforce this expectation with penalties against member institutions. So if somebody tries to skirt this rule a little bit and bring back a player who had previously declared for a draft or signed a contract with the professional team or been listed on a professional roster, then he is allowed to enforce penalties. As of now, I haven't seen what those penalties will be if somebody tries to do this, but again, the SEC.
As I was hearing yesterday, it could be half the season for a coach.
Oh, did you see that?
That was part of the scuttlebutt on Feinbaum. Is it could be up to half the season for a coach who does that.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I'm in favor of whatever it takes to make sure that this doesn't happen. So, again, it's college sports, right? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Teams have been trying to find loopholes and ways around rules since the beginning of time. So this isn't completely new, but I'm fascinated to see who tries to get around this and also what exactly constitutes breaking the rule here.
Yeah, I mean, so does that mean the kid from LSU is out? He's not going. He's now got to pack up, and when he got to campus, he's probably now packing up to leave, or does he get to stay because of the injunction that he has? I mean, what does that do for him?
No, I would assume, I don't know if there's anything official about this yet, but I would assume that Daquan Wright is not going to be allowed to play this year. And I know we got that ruling, like you said, the injunction from a judge in the state of Louisiana, but it sounds like if LSU tries to play him, then that's where Greg Sankey can step in and say, okay, we're going to punish you. Like, I'm in charge of the conference. You play in our conference. You ain't Notre Dame. If you want to stay in this league, you've got to abide by our rules. And I don't care what your state government that you paid off with a bunch of judges who graduated from LSU have to say.
I'm wondering if the kid gets paid by LSU. Do I get to stay on campus? Do I get to have my free housing, the money that you promised me I was going to get? Once again, if he hadn't signed a contract with them, if Lane Kiffin hadn't given his bag of money, I'm going to have my free stay. I'm going to eat on campus. You'd love to hang out on campus and not have to practice, wouldn't you?
Oh, LSU? Hell yeah. You kidding me? Someone's going to pay for me to go to LSU? Sure. Sign me up. I'll take that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the exact terms of the Daquan Wright deal. I mean, we had reported and we talked about it. Well, we didn't report it. We reacted to the reports of Daquan Wright apparently agreeing to a deal to return to LSU.
We know what a handshake means there, or a verbal. That means nothing.
Right. I don't know if he had signed anything. Now with Brendan Sorsby, again, this is a different situation. Brendan Sorsby was already at Texas Tech for a few months and practicing and on the roster and everything like that. Tech decided to honor the NIL money that they had promised Brendan Sorsby. Some tells me LSU's not going to pay Daquan Wright, and I don't think they should pay Daquan Wright.
No.
They didn't just try it with this one player. They tried it with a few different players in football and basketball. Their whole basketball roster is comprised of NBA players or ex-NBA guys.
Somebody told me they're only going to have is like 6 freshmen. That's it.
I was going to say, can they even field a starting 5 now?
Yeah, their coach he'll be fired again.
Will Wade. Speaking of guys who have tried to cheat in the past. Now, maybe I'm being a hypocrite because Sean Miller was kind of fired for the same thing, but at a different school. But yeah, Will Wade obviously has shown that he doesn't care what you think of him. Whatever he's got to do to win games, he will do. So there's that. And then, with the SEC announcement yesterday, Buck, my mind as a Texas fan went to Cole Hudson because Cole Hudson's a guy who we all thought was done playing college football. He was, I guess, in the NFL draft. He never declared for the NFL draft because he was a senior. And if you're a graduating senior, you don't have to declare for the NFL draft. And Cole Hudson was never on a team. He never signed a contract, but he did have a couple of tryouts with NFL teams in the offseason. So I was wondering, okay, does this new rule change his eligibility, right? A couple of weeks ago, it was reported and the NCAA confirmed that he was going to be eligible to play in this 2026 season. He had been back at Texas. He had been practicing with the team during fall camp for the last few weeks. So, okay, with this new stipulation, is he now ineligible? Well, according to On Texas Football, the new rule that was passed yesterday will not affect the status of the Longhorns offensive line.
I got to believe if you don't play in a game, you don't have a contract, and you don't take any payments from the NFL, you should be able to go and play.
We need to get you a mute button because that was a disgusting sound. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're dead on right there. The SEC rule says no player who signed a professional football contract, declared for the NFL draft, or was listed on a professional football roster will be eligible for competition in the NFL. And again, Cole Hudson, as a fourth-year senior at the time, never declared for the draft because seniors don't have to. He never signed a professional contract, so that's kind of the differentiator between his situation and Daquan Wright's, and he was never listed on a professional roster. And Cole Hudson was granted that extra year of eligibility by the NCAA. This was not, Texas suing in court. This was not him suing in court. This was the NCAA ultimately saying that, hey, man, you're good to play. So I guess that means Cole Hudson's going to be on the team.
Yeah, if he would have, I think if he would have played in a game, if he would have got payment, he probably wasn't at any place to get even, per diem. He wasn't there long enough. He was cut pretty quickly at places or let loose. You don't get any money. You don't get, you just get to go practice with him, but you don't play in any games. I think that's fine.
Yeah. Again, he just had a tryout. I don't know if he technically even got cut. He just wasn't invited to go back.
Right.
And I think maybe another detail, and I don't know how much this matters in terms of technicalities, but Cole Hudson, throughout the entire offseason, was still enrolled at the University of Texas. He's pursuing his MBA.
Mhm.
So maybe that's a part of it too, why it seems like. Now, look, college sports in 2026, Buck, this can change at any time.
You're right.
There are new rules being passed seemingly by the hour. And with every new rule that does get passed, there's 5 more questions that stems from the rule. And all of a sudden, we've got to pass new rules or amendments so we can all get on the same page. So I don't know. But as it stands right now, Cole Hudson's still practicing, still on the football team.
Yeah, but who knows if that changes. All of a sudden, the SEC may want to jump out in front of the Big Ten and make some other kind of statement and add something else to it.
Well, the way the SEC's been following as of late.
Yeah, they're not going to jump out in frant of anybody right now.
The
commissioner was taking a hit on Feinbaum's show all day of being the weak link in college football now. You might as well be working for the ACC.
We talked about it with Chris Phillips yesterday, and he kind of echoed that same sentiment. It's like the SEC is the conference that's involved. Obviously, LSU was the school that made this a national story. They could have been the conference that got out in front of this and said, hey, this isn't happening. Instead, on Monday, they released like a nothing burger statement saying, that's why we support the College Sports Act. They should do it. We should get this passed so we don't have to do anything. And then yesterday, earlier in the day, the Big Ten's like, we have some power. We're allowed to make our own decisions here. We're going to put a stop to this. And then the SEC, the followers that this conference has become, was like, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. Maybe we should do the same thing. So, yeah, Greg Sankey should have taken some heat for this. It never should. There's never a bad time to make the right decision. They made the right decision. So, ultimately, it should be water under the bridge. But it is another example of the Big Ten being ahead of the SEC.
Yes.
Which is different. Maybe not different from the last couple of years, but I don't know. For a long time, it felt like the SEC was the number one power broker in college athletics. And over the last couple of years, in part because of on-field results in football, but also because of decisions that have been made regarding the college football playoff and scheduling and things like that, feels like the SEC and Daddy Sankey have taken a bit of a back seat.
It used to mean more. Now it may mean more, but nobody's listening.
What's the new slogan? It used to mean more?
Yeah, it used to mean more, yeah.
Or it means more, but nobody's listening anymore.
Hey, it means more, but now in the Big Ten.
It means more, but now in the Big Ten. The way things are going, Tony Petitti might just trademark that slogan.
No kidding.
And the Big Ten might be saying it just means more moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, Sankey had a great opportunity with this right in his own league to common sense this one and go, LSU, you've done a lot of crazy things. We're not going to let you do this one. And he just kind of waited out. He wanted all the prep. He wanted somebody else to do it first, and he should have done it first. Now he gathered all the presidents and got that 16-0 vote. He must have felt pretty good after that yesterday.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if he would have done anything if the Big Ten didn't do anything.
No,
right? I don't think this is Greg Sankey like having a realization, this is wrong. Maybe I should put a stop to this. I think he's like, well, the Big Ten did it, so I guess we probably have to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he would have done anything. We would have going into the waiver wires in Game 6 of the college football season, and guys from the NFL would have been joining college teams.
It felt like he was bending the knee to Lane Kiffin and LSU a little
bit.
All right, you guys want to do this? Fine, go ahead and do this.
That's amazing. Well, I'm glad it worked out, period, that we don't have this. That's one sigh of relief for today.
Yeah, what will tomorrow bring? That's always the question we're asking as college.
Dude, LSU can't even have a basketball team. Somebody said they got like 4 or 5 or 6 freshmen. That's it. They got all these guys, and they promised these guys that, here, you can come here. You got your 5th year. Come on back.
Yeah, did you see Kim Mulkey lost a player the other day? Your girl, your woman crush, the head coach.
And she wouldn't do anything dishonest.
Apparently, there's a Ukrainian player they had on their team named Kate Koval, and she's leaving after LSU signed a player from Russia last week. And last week in a press conference, apparently Kim Mulkey, I got to find this cut, maybe for tomorrow's show. See, she even suggested that the two could help end the war between the countries.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you know what? Let me sign a Ukrainian player. Let me sign a Russian player. And since they're going to be practicing together and spending time in the locker room together, then we can put an end to this years-long war going on overseas. Can we not?
No.
Apparently the answer is no. By the way, the Ukrainian player's father is in the Ukrainian military. Kim Mulkey said she had hoped the two players would be ambassadors for their countries. That is not the case.
No, and that wasn't her case of doing that either. We know that.
We can't accept that.
Oh, my God.
Kim Mulkey being
stay in your lane.
Yeah, well, that's your girl right there. That's your crush.
Yeah, I mean, her intentions were sweet. That's, you know, she had all the right, she was trying all the right moves, but that's not going to work.
I don't know if that's the right move. You've got a Ukrainian player and you bring in a Russian player and you're hoping that that's going to just blow over and be cool and not be a big deal. And tell us.
One's dad's in the military.
Yeah, the Ukrainian player's dad is in the military. Like, if karma's a thing, LSU athletics is on track for like the worst stretch in college sports history because they've got the worst karma buildup in the history.
Yeah, we got to see how that works out.
It's all over the athletic department right now. It ain't just Lane. It's men's and women's basketball too.
Unbelievable.
So there you go. There's where are we at in college sports today? Kind of a good story with Greg Sankey. And again, the Big Ten releasing their statements yesterday. But then you've got the women's basketball story with Cruella de Mulkey, as I like to call her. Yeah.
Well,
I will say this. Good news that Cole Hudson is still playing. I don't expect Cole Hudson to start. I don't expect Cole Hudson to be a major contributor for the 2026 Texas Longhorns, but he does provide some depth on the offensive line. He has played all three interior O-line positions. He started a number of games at Texas, so in a pinch, Texas could use him this year. I'm glad he's still on the team. Some people might say it's semantics and maybe he shouldn't be allowed on the team because of the rule that was passed yesterday. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure I agree with the fact that he is still allowed to play college football, but as it stands right now, he is still on the squad and, again, could be, in a pinch, an important part of the Longhorns offense.
He's the lesser of all the evils that are going on right now.
Yeah, there are bigger problems going on than Cole Hudson right now.
Man, yes.
That's for sure. So there you go. We'll take your thoughts on the big sweeping announcements in the with the two biggest conferences in college sports yesterday. All right, we will dive into the Texas football conversation momentarily. A not so good update on the health of Trevor Gooseby. We'll talk about that. Plus, we've got some sound from QB1. But before we shift gears, how about our first round of sponsor shout-outs?
Folks, Relax Back embraces a holistic approach for a healthier lifestyle, and my back couldn't be happier. And folks, they've got the select zero-gravity recliners, Tempur-Pedic pillows, of course, adjustable mattress sets available for you, human-scale office chairs, desk, and all the accessories that you're looking for, whether it's your shoulders, your lumbar, your thoracic, your hips. Give them an opportunity. Don't have to get in pain to go over to Relax the Back to help yourself release some of the things that could happen to you with some of the great accessories. And get yourself a zero-gravity recliner. BK, how's your recliner in your new place? Feeling good?
Awesome.
Feeling good. Folks, we got two great locations. One is at the Hill Country Galleria across from Whole Foods in South Austin area, and at the Gateway Shopping Center across from the Container Store. That's up north at the Gateway Shopping Center. Live pain free like the Buck at Relax the Back.
Yes, indeed. Love Relax the Back. Yep. Love my zero gravity recliner. And
yes.
Love the chair that I'm sitting in right now. Also love audiovisual consultations. Finally got the TVs behind me working. That's not AV Consultations error. That's BK error. But we've got the logos up and running. The TV setup is ready to go. And it's time for you to get your TV setup ready to go. Whether you work from home or just like watching sports from home or watching TV. Who doesn't like watching TV or movies or sports from the comfort of their own place? If you like doing that, Reach out to audiovisual consultations and upgrade your home television setup. You can upgrade your entire football season just by making the call to AVC. They can hook you up. I've got the 2 TVs behind me. Got the 2 75-inch screens with the nice Sonos sound bars in the living room. Posted a couple of pictures on my social media a week or two ago. Everything looks great. Everything works great. And I'm ready to go for the upcoming football season. Week 0 is this weekend, but you got some time before week 1 next weekend to make it all happen. 512-255-8678. The customer service is second to none. Obviously, the equipment, the technology, the installation, they do it all, and they've done it all at a high level for nearly 40 years. All you have to do is reach out to them. Again, 512-255-8678. Or find out more online at avconsultations.com.
And, of course, our friends at Sue Patrick, great selection of Longhorn apparel, collectibles, hats, T-shirts, tons of Texas-themed gifts, items right there for your books, golf accessories, men's and women's clothing, of course, and children clothing for those little toddlers, the little newbies. They've got it. They've got everything that you're looking for. They even got little booties, Longhorn booties when you go there. So, folks, head on over to Sue Patrick, 50 years of service in Central Texas. They offer free shipping on online orders of $59 or more, free curbside pickup, and tons of Texas-themed, as I said, Texas-themed items there. How about luggage? You're taking that trip. You want to go to that Tennessee game. You want to carry on luggage with the Longhorn gear. How about that? How about wearing that? How about coming off the plane with that? Don't let the bag apes touch that one. Make that your carry-on. Don't have them throwing that around the place. But they've got it at Sue Patrick, and plenty of parking space at 5222 Burnett Road. When you go there, say hello to Sue once you're there, of course. Jelly cats have been restocked, as I said, 50 years of service in Central Texas. For more information, please go to SuePatrick.com. Got to get yourself a nice lid. BK, you got that the one for the rivalry games. That you throw that away yet? Has that been thrown away because you don't want the fights?
Of course not. I would never throw anything from Sue Patrick away. I'm not like you where, when they give us gifts, they go straight in the trash can or to the donation pile. That's not how I roll. I still got it somewhere. I got to find it.
And we will be there on Friday. The schedule glasses are out.
We will be there on Friday. So hope to see you people there from 8 to 10. And, gear up for the upcoming season with our friends at Sue Patrick. Also, beer up for the upcoming season with our friends at the Altstadt Brewery. Brewery of the Year. Not just my opinion. It's been voted that twice this year. It's down in Fredericksburg. If you're looking for something to do, hey, I know there's some college football this weekend, but maybe you've got some honeydews. You got to spend time with the lady. You got to go on one final little trip before the season starts. How about a road trip to Fredericksburg? There's so much to do down there, but also the Altstadt Brewery is down there. That place is awesome, but you don't have to drive to Fredericksburg to enjoy the greatness that is Altstadt Beer. Your favorite bars, your favorite restaurants, all throughout the great state of Texas, they've got Altstadt. Of course, grocery stores, liquor stores, you can pick up 6-packs. You can pick up those party packs, those 15-packs of Altstadt. You need them for your football watching. You need them for your tailgates. You need them for your watch parties. Football is made better with a great beer by your side. My choice is Altstadt. Yours should be too. It is Altstadt Beer. No impurities, no regrets.
Yes.
All right, diving back into the Texas Longhorn conversation, we've got a report from On Texas Football about Longhorns All-American left tackle Trevor Gooseby. According to them, the 2025 first-team All-SEC offensive lineman is currently, quote, way less than 50-50 to play against Texas State in the season opener, end quote. Of course, we're 10 days away from kickoff. The Longhorns and the Bobcats on September 5th here in Austin. Trevor Gooseby been dealing with that bone bruise that he suffered in the first fall scrimmage a couple of weeks ago. Has not returned to practice, obviously. And, well, at least according to that report, Buck, sounds like the Longhorns might be without their best offensive lineman in game 1.
There's no reason to have him if he's not 100%, like I said, or in that high 90%. There's no reason to play him in that game. You ought to be able to win that game. I don't care with your high school freshman at left tackle if you have to. That shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. So I'm fine with that. I wasn't expecting to play until the second game. But is it because he's physically not ready, or are they just making that kind of early decision? Why do it? That's the part we don't know. You'd like to know if that's the reasoning that they figured it out. Why should we do that in that particular game?
Yeah. Another reason why I'm happy that the Ohio State game is not week 1 this year.
Right. Absolutely.
Like it was last year. And that was kind of our initial goal. And I think most Texas fans sort of felt the same way. It's like, okay, do whatever you have to do to make sure Gooseby can play against the Buckeyes.
Right.
And I wonder if Texas Ohio State was week 1, if maybe they'd be rushing Gooseby back a little bit more.
Could be.
But thankfully, you don't have to do that. Like you said, the Longhorns should be able to win that game with pretty much anybody playing left tackle. Texas is a 30-point favorite right now. There's no reason to rush it. There's no reason to risk further injury. Of course, I prefer Trevor Gooseby being out there just to have some peace of mind that he's ready to go for Ohio State.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like probably in part a Texas decision, in part a Trevor Gooseby decision. He's thinking about his future, the future being the rest of this season, but also his future beyond this season. We're talking about a likely first-round pick in next April's draft. He's got bigger things to play for in his football career than a game against Texas State. No disrespect to the Bobcats.
Well, I think it just makes sense. It just sounds like it makes sense. More time, more healing. I mean, bigger game. And if you can. Nobody's underestimating the Bobcats, but I'm underestimating that they can beat Texas next week. That shouldn't be it. And why take a chance on a guy like that in a game like that? You know how hard he works. The NFL scouts understand what's going on too. They're not dumb. They're going to go, are they really going to play that kid against the most of them are saying they're not really going to play him against the Bobcats unless he's 100%. Like I said, even if he's in the 90s, why do it?
The scouts won't be in Austin week 1. They'll be in Austin week 2.
Yes, they will.
When College Game Day will also be in
Absolutely.
Austin. And that'll be one of the most watched college football games of the entire year. And here's the good news. We've talked about this a time or two. Andre Kojo has looked really good in Trevor Gooseby's place. There has not been a significant drop-off in play at left tackle with Andre Kojo in and Trevor Gooseby out. Now, we're talking about practice, man, but I trust Sark when he says that. I trust our Longhorn insiders when they say that. Andre Kojo, a fourth-year player, 6'6", 340 pounds. He knows the system. He's 100% healthy coming off that torn ACL he suffered last year in fall camp. Buck, he's got a stranglehold on that spot. It's good because sometimes when a player goes down and you don't have, a super proven guy as a backup, it opens up a competition. And you hear reports like, no one's stepping up and we're not sure who the guy is going to be. It is clear as day that Andre Kojo is the number one guy for as long as Trevor Gooseby is on the shelf.
Yeah, as I said yesterday, I'm just happy that guy is full go. There's no slowing him down at that left tackle position right now where, oh, no, he only gets a couple reps a day because we still are waiting for that injury to heal up. It sounds like it's been ready, and he's playing full go football right now, and that's great for him too.
Yeah, and he was competing for a starting spot last year before he suffered that ACL injury, and that was at the right tackle position. And I'll say this, look, injuries happen, obviously. We haven't even gotten to the start of the season, and we've talked about 2 offensive line injuries for the Longhorns. So, Trevor Gooseby might be ready to go, but at some point during the year, he could go down, or Melvin Siani at right tackle could go down. So I told the other day that Andre Kojo is tackle number 3. And again, he's had work and practice at both left and right tackle. So if either of those guys has to miss time during the season, it sure feels like the coaching staff is comfortable and confident that you could just trot big Andre Kojo out there and things are going to be just fine.
Yeah, it's good to know that you've got that guy. It really is. And it's good to know that he's healthy. Like I said, he's not on a count, he's not on a number that we only give him this many plays during the course of a day. He just plays football right now. And that's important for the team too. That's really, really good news. And the fact that the Gooseby won't play in that game is good news to my ears, because I didn't really want to see him out there and be out there just because he wants to be out there and prove something, how tough he is. We know how tough he is. So we know how good he is. So, and they don't need him in that game. That's just, that would be crazy for him to go out there. I don't care if it's 10 plays. I don't care if it's 2 series. He'll be practicing. If he's practicing hard during the course of that week and he's feeling good and all that, still right there on the bench, right beside me. I'm the head coach. I'm like, you hang out with me today.
Now, it's not a fact yet. I will say that. It's not like Texas.
No, yeah, because all of a sudden at the end of the week, you could find out going into, next Tuesday, this guy is like 100% and looks fantastic. And then what do? I know what I do. I said, I'll see you the following week. Have fun.
You just said what you would do. I don't know what the coaching staff would do, right? Maybe they'd play Trevor Gooseby for a series or a quarter. Just like, hey, you say you're good to go. You're a starter at left tackle. Then, all right, let's go play at least a little bit. But
I would count that as me saving the kid from himself. I would just go tell people, hey, he wanted to play bad, but I thought better of it.
Well, even if he's cleared by the medical staff, it's like, hey, just sit this one out. We'll see you in 7 days.
Yeah. If he says, Coach, I'm 98%, I said, well, take that other 2% and have fun this week. Okay.
Yeah. Just get in street clothes and
we'll
see you back at practice on Monday.
Absolutely.
Trevor Gooseby still not practicing, by the way. There is no
practice yet. You're right.
There's no exact specific date on when he's expected to return to practice, according to this On Texas Football reports. And look, it's a bone bruise. Surgery not required. So whenever Gooseby does come back, pain tolerance is going to be a part of the equation. You talked about this as soon as the diagnosis happened, Buck. This is something that Trevor Gooseby's probably going to have to deal with all year. He might rest it up, give himself a bunch of time. Hell, he might sit out week 1 and week 3. But still, the moment he takes a hit there, whether it's a helmet or someone's body or a leg or whatever, it's going to hurt. Yeah, and he's got to battle that all season. So obviously, it's best case scenario. We heard Trevor Gooseby went down with a non-contact injury in practice, and all of our minds went to a deep, dark place. Steve Sarkisian even said it. We played the cut earlier this week where he's glad he goes to church because he was worried that it could have been disaster for Gooseby and for the entire offensive line. But again, good news, no surgery required, not a long-term thing. Bad news is, well, he's going to have to deal with some annoying pain probably for the entire season. Yeah,
I mean, it's, as you said, some people are saying, well, he's only going to play a little bit against the Bobcats anyway. Well, I don't want a Bobcat trying to make a name for himself out there against your tackle and doing something stupid,
Yeah. I mean, it's offensive line. Like, it doesn't have to be somebody trying to do something crazy. It could just be someone getting
There's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of traffic in there.
Yeah. And by the way, Trevor Gooseby continues to walk around with one crutch, and he continues to wear a knee brace as of yesterday. So still got some work to do, again, to get back on the practice field and obviously, more importantly, to get back to game shape as well. But, yeah, the report less than 50-50 and Trevor Gooseby will start for the season opener against Southwest Texas State, Buck.
Yes.
We still calling it that?
Yeah, they are what they are.
They are what they are. They are what they were.
They're the Bobcats, baby.
Well, they've always been the Bobcats, but we dropped the Southwest. Why do we drop the Southwest?
I don't know. Why are they just Texas State? Is this a new thing going into the big league that they're in?
No, they've been Texas State for a while now.
Yeah, it's been a while. You're right.
And I don't know. I guess it sounds like bigger and better. You're not a directional school anymore. You're just
slightly above A&M, yes.
You're just the state. Oh, they're above A&M.
Oh, yeah, they're the number 2 school, yes.
Oh, so Texas and Texas State are now the 2 flagship universities in the great state of Texas.
Absolutely, of course they are.
Never a bad time to trash talk, little brother. Well done there, sir. Well done there.
Yeah, I'm excited. That makes me, I take a deep breath on that one going, good. I don't have to worry about that kid of next week getting himself ready to go and hustling around and trying to do extra movements. Take your time, young man. You got another week.
Another week. And again, we'll see when Trevor Gooseby returns to practice, but he's obviously not there right now. the initial timeline, and it wasn't told to us by the university, but it was reported that 2 to 3 weeks was the expectation until Trevor Gooseby returned. We're about a week and a half in to that stretch.
So it'll be about 3 weeks.
3 weeks is, I mean, we're 10 days from now, another week and a half. That's the Texas State game. And again, I feel like if it was Ohio State week 1, we'd be having a different conversation right now, but err on the side of caution with your opponent.
Absolutely.
Makes sense. Buck, we are 10 days away from the season opener, if you haven't heard me say that a million times already today. I wrote down 10 things that I would like to see from the Longhorns in that game. You care to hear my list?
Yeah, I want to hear this list, buddy.
I think number 1, and I'm only going to put this at number 1 because I think it's number 1 for you. Limited penalties.
Yes.
We need an indication of improved player and team discipline that I hope becomes a theme for the entire season.
Discipline and poise, yes.
You might say it's Texas State, who cares? But
I care.
I keep bringing this up. Last year, San Jose State, week 2, the Longhorns, one of the Longhorns' cupcake non-conference home games, 12 penalties for 115 yards. That was an issue pretty much from week 1 to week 13 last year. So play a clean game. You're at home. I know it's hot, but you're at home. You should not be sloppy in your own barn.
No, dude. The kids you're playing against at Texas State, you don't think it's hot for them? Those dudes, isn't it hot for them too? Both teams have to play in the heat. You're
right. And, San Jose State last year, they had to come from beautiful climate-controlled California for their game. Now, the Bobcats are used to this. They're practicing in this stuff too. But yes, it will be very hot for everybody 1 week from Saturday. So, yeah, you got to deal with it. That's how it goes. Number 2, I'd like to see some big plays from the offense. Like, sure, 7, 8, 9, 10-play drives are cool. We don't complain about touchdowns. As long as you get into the end zone, I'm happy. But against a team like Texas State, all the explosiveness that we've spent this offseason talking about with all of the playmakers and weapons Texas has on the offensive side of the football, we know Arch Manning throws a great deep ball. I'd like to see a number of explosives, not only through the air, but on the ground too, Buck.
I agree with that. I mean, I wrote down great quarterback play for my number 2. I don't want to hear about, Arch Manning, he'll ease into it, or the head coach tell me, as the weeks go on, he'll get better. No, I want to see great quarterback play. I mean, that's just controlling the game itself, the game tempo. I know generally, Arch isn't calling his own plays, but I'd like to see him control the tempo of the way the game is going, just because of what he does. Like we talked about, even the short passes that mean something, catch and run, make those easy, make the easy plays easy, and then make a bunch of great plays.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down for Arch Manning is just make the easy stuff look easy, right? Like the short and intermediate throws that gave him fits last year that haven't always been sharp this year in fall camp is kind of well documented right now. We know he could throw a gorgeous deep ball, but the short stuff like that's got to be there every single
and week. I don't care how it's done. I don't care if it's sidearm, just make it accurate. You know what I'm saying? If it hits the guys in the hand where it's supposed to, that's on them from that point on.
I do care about the mechanics because last year
I don't want to see the dart guy. I don't want to see the guy that with his little breast hanging out, having to do like this to make passes. If he's got to chuck it, that's not what I'm looking for. That guy, your guy right there.
For those of you listening, you have not much idea what we're talking about. For those of you watching,
I don't want to see that guy. I want to see that guy if he's falling down sideways and he's got to get the ball right on target, get it on target.
Yes, ultimately, show me the baby. I don't care about the labor, but my UTSD will kick in if
that's not going to happen.
Well, if we're talking about Arch Manning's mechanics again, like that was a huge part of the conversation early on last year when he was struggling was the mechanics, the footwork, the arm angles. It's like, why? It's year 3 for him at Texas. I know it's like a first year as a starter, but like, shouldn't he have these things figured out right now? Why is he throwing like that? There's no way he's been coached to throw like that, right?
No, I just thought he was so nervous. I think just pure pressure last year. Not it just was, it got every part of his body. When you're nervous, you get ready to go up and speak at some event and you just start getting nervous and you're all fidgety and your words come out wrong. It's just, I just thought that was more so than his basic mechanics. I just thought he was nervous and the pressure got to him. Yeah. And there was a lot of pressure.
Yeah, of course. Well, the mechanics were awful. I don't care what it was or what caused it. Like, that was a part of his struggles last year. So hopefully those things have been cleaned up. But you're right. Tons of pressure, the expectations, the hype, it was all ridiculous.
Yes.
And again, like the fact that you get to play at home against Texas State versus playing on the road against Ohio State, it felt like Arch couldn't get into a rhythm at the beginning of last year. This year, he should be able to get into a rhythm. And obviously, we hope that carries into the second week of the year.
I like the big plays, though. I like the big plays in the passing game and running game, too.
For sure. Next one I had on my list, 10 days till Texas State, 10 things you want to see from Texas in that game. Limited missed assignments. MAs, as Steve Sarkisian calls them. There were a lot of those in Saturday's scrimmage. And maybe I'll put this for the defense. Like, it sounds like the offense had more of them in this past scrimmage. But with the new defensive coordinator and Texas, they haven't been doing a lot of tackling to the ground in fall camp.
Sure.
I think it's part of that because of some of the injuries that they've had. And, Anthony Smith left the team. Like, they don't want to lose anybody in practice. So I want to make sure that, like, they're sound. They know where they're supposed to be. There's not a bunch of miscommunications and guys pointing at each other, Buck.
Yeah.
That's something I'd like to see. And Texas State, they're not horrible. They've got a good quarterback who I think is going to play in the NFL one day. Like, G.J. Kinney's a good offensive coach, so it'll be a decent test. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but, like, they do some things offensively that could create some challenges for Texas. I want to make sure guys are doing what they are supposed to do.
Yeah, do your assignments. You're gonna physically outmatch them. Their offensive line is not going to be able to hold this defensive line. They're not going to run. We've seen teams come in here and all of a sudden look like they're pretty good at the run game against this Texas defense, which was ridiculous at times early in the season last year. This group is not running anywhere against Texas. This group is going to get stomped next week when it comes to that defensive line versus their offensive line. And that's not going to make it easy for the quarterback if they can't run the ball. He is going to be under duress. So my expectations are that they're going to get mauled on the line of scrimmage by the defensive line, period.
That's kind of on my list too, is like, I want to see displacement from
for sure
Texas lines of scrimmage, right? Both on offense and on defense. They should dominate up front.
I'll say this, BK, about the offensive line. I'm just going to wait to see. I would like to have that, but I don't know. I'm only going to trust what I see from the offensive line when that happens. It doesn't matter who they would be playing in game one. I don't care if it would be Westlake. I would like to see. I have to see it for myself to believe it. I'm not going to buy into they're way more physical, or they should be more. I want to see it when the game time comes.
With the Trevor Gooseby injury situation, like, I don't want the conversation coming out of week one to be, yeah, but they didn't have Trevor Gooseby.
No,
I want it to be like, Andre Kojo is pretty good, and all five of those guys looked really good.
Yeah, I'd like for it to be more like, boy, that was great, but you know what would have happened if Trevor Gooseby would have been playing in the game? Boy, they had a hell of a day, but you know what kind of day they could have had? Or they still should have, even if he's not playing in there?
Texas should be blocking those Bobcats all the way back to San Marcos.
Absolutely.
Or can we at least get them to Buda or Kyle?
For sure.
Push them that far back. So, yeah, dominance up front on the offensive and defensive lines. Yes, I think a lot of Longhorn fans agree with you. We're in wait-and-see mode, and sorry to keep bringing up last year, but, again, those three non-conference games outside of Ohio State where Texas was playing inferior competition, the offensive line wasn't pushing people around the way that we had hoped, especially against San Jose State and UTEP. They kind of did against Sam Houston, who was awful, but, like, we kind of were worried about the O-line after that. It's like, you can't dominate these fools. How are you going to dominate the SEC?
And I would say in third and short, when they run the ball, and fourth and short, 100%. no 65% of the time we got the first. No, that's on that given day next week. It has to be 100%. You know, if it's 3rd and 2 or 4th and 1 or whatever, that's got to be 100%. Anything less than that is not any good.
Agreed.
I don't care if the guy slips and gets ready to fall. I need to have 100% on that day, BK. It can't be, oh, we got stuffed. We didn't get the yard. It can't be that against this group.
Agreed, 100%. And I would say not just and 1, I would say and 2 and 3.
Yes. Okay.
You should be 100% at 3rd or 4th and 3 and in.
And you decide to run the ball on those downs, that should be 100%, huh?
You're right. There shouldn't be any mystery. Like,
no.
Look, is Arch Manning capable of finding Coleman, Wingo, or Mosley and converting a pass in a short yardage situation? Yeah, for sure. But, like, I want it to be the Texas offensive line telling the Texas State defensive line, we're running the ball right there. And,
whispering over across there to them.
And it doesn't matter. Like, they still run it right there and pick up the first down with ease. You should be able to do that in a game.
I would agree. That's what kind of game this should be. You're right.
I don't even know how many numbers we've mentioned, so I don't know what number we're on.
We're on number 4.
No, we're way past. Well, I'm already past number 4 on my list. If we're only at number 4, I got to come up with a few more here.
Where you at on yours?
I think 6 or 7.
Okay, let's go 6.
It's still doing that. No missed tackles, or at least good tackling. Missed tackles are going to happen. I kind of brought this up earlier, but Texas, again, they haven't been fully tackling in every single practice. And, okay, that's fine. Don't get guys hurt. I agree with that. Err on the side of caution. You don't need to lose anybody right now when you're in a national championship or bust kind of year. You got bigger things ahead. But that can't translate into, we don't tackle well when we actually need to tackle well.
Yeah, there hasn't really been that bad of a tackling epidemic. They've had some occasions, but generally this team, with the defense that they played over the last couple of years, have been right there. If somebody's there to miss, there's somebody else to make the tackle, or they're the gang tackle. They have to continue what they've been doing for sure.
You're right. We haven't used the tackling epidemic line around here in a while. And even though the defense wasn't as good in 25 as it was in 23 and 24, it still felt like to me they tackled pretty well. You don't make every single tackle. Nobody does. But yeah, that I don't expect that to be, but that can't be a talking point at any point this season. What else is on my list? I'd like to see, maybe nobody else cares about this, I'd like to see the kicker make a good distance kick in this game. Now, again, I understand saying that means Texas gets stopped on a 3rd down and they've got to settle for a field goal. But there's a very good chance that Memphis transfer Gianni Spedic is going to be called upon in a big spot against Ohio State in week 2 to make a kick. Now, I don't expect there to be a lot of high-pressure situations against Texas State, so it's not exactly the same, but 100,000 fans. Yeah, 100,000 fans at DKR cheering in a game situation. I'd like to see Gianni Spedic nail a 40 to 50-yard kick in that game.
Yeah, I mean, give him an opportunity in the 50s to hit a kick over 50 yards.
Yeah. Now, again, if it doesn't happen, if Texas scores every time they get into plus territory, like, all right, I'm not going to be complaining on Monday's show after the game about that. But
we didn't give the kicker a chance. No, you won't do that.
Yeah, you should have kicked it on 3rd down just to give that guy the opportunity. Obviously, won't be saying that, but yeah, I'd like to see Spedic again show he's been pretty good in practice. He's got solid numbers from his previous spots, but I'd like to see him get that opportunity and, more importantly, convert on that opportunity.
Well, if you're talking that special team, this is no better time than in game 1 for Niblett to have a punt return against Texas State. Just show us your firepower early. Show everybody your firepower early. If you're going to run over some kids, this is the one to do it in.
See, I'm going to disagree with you because I want to save that for week 2.
Well, you can get one in week 1 and week 2. There's nothing wrong with that.
You're right. That's the best case scenario is Ryan Niblett, who had 2 touchdowns on returns last year, gets 2 in the first 2 games this year. That'd be amazing. But, look, Texas, the return touchdowns that Niblett had last year were placed at perfect times. One of them was a dagger against Oklahoma, and the other one was a part of that 17-point fourth quarter comeback at Mississippi State. So if you're going to have him, hey, I'd love to have him every single time he returns one. But maybe if you're only going to get one or two, let's save those for the bigger games.
Oh, he's got to get off to a little start. You don't mind 30-yard return, 40-yard return. He doesn't have to take it back to the house.
Now, hey, he did lead the country in punt return yardage average. That
counts right there.
Yeah, so have some long returns to get out in front of everybody else in the country in that stat.
That's true. They don't all have to go back to the house. But if you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna roll a group that's physically inferior to what you are, this is the one where you roll. This is the one you don't have to hold anybody or grab anybody. You just knock them. Hey, you just knock them to the ground.
You know what else I'd like to see, and this wasn't on my list, but while we're talking about the return game, I like to see good kickoff returns.
Yeah,
Texas was bad at that last year. They were 121st in the country in kick return average. They were obviously elite at returning punts, but they couldn't return a kick to save their life. So that's where I would like to see the return, I think, more than anything, is whether it's Niblett or Raleek Brown. It sounds like those are the two guys who will be back there on kickoff. I don't want to see too many Texas State kickoffs because I don't want them scoring much. But, hey, maybe Texas gets the ball first and you get a nice 30, 40-yard return to set up the offense with good field position on the first drive of the year.
Because they're not going to score much. This group is not going to get more than 10 points.
I hope you're right.
They're not going to score more than 10 points against Texas.
And that's on your list?
Yeah, that's on my list is don't give anything. Give them a touchdown and let their kicker have one, and that's about it.
Keep them to single digits or 10 at the most.
Yeah, that's it. They get here. We'll give you 10 to start the game out with. That's it. You're done for the day. Now, what we do is on us from that point on.
Do you have a lean? If I gave you a 30-point spread right now, do you have a lean 10 days out on which side you would take?
I would take the over.
Like Texas.
I would take Texas. Minus 30. I would take that.
And trade on that on Kalshi right there.
Yeah, that's not as good as they've been playing, and Coach Kenny has got his team doing okay. This will be a lot of nerves by a lot of kids playing this kind of football games at the level they've been playing at. They can say they played in big games. They have not played in anything like they're going to see next week. It'll be, I don't care where they went to school in the state of Texas. There's going to be some moisture in their drawers a little bit coming here at 2:30 in the afternoon.
You talking about sweat or piss?
All of it.
Yeah. Okay. All of it will be there. Hey, it's a Pac-12 team Texas is playing. Don't forget.
Don't know. No, it's just Texas State. This is you've had better scrimmages over the last, you've had better practices than what you're going to see from this team. That team will be fired up. Their energy level by 8 minutes into the game, BK will be like, whew. You're talking about guys that'll be huffing and puffing. Group from San Marcos will be huffing and puffing about the 8-minute mark in quarter number one. Like, where are we?
Yeah, hope you're right. I've got two more. I think we've got 8 of the 10 things we want to see. KJ Lacey. I hope he has an early entrance, and I hope he plays well. Like, obviously, you hope KJ Lacey plays a lot because you hope Texas is taking care of business. They've got a huge lead, and you can give Arch Manning a breather in the second half. But, I'd like to see KJ Lacey have a real drive or two. At that point, if he is in the game, Texas is up so much that you're probably running the ball the majority of the time.
Yeah, I'd like to see him involved in at least 2 or 3 scores.
Yeah, and I'd like to see him fling the ball around. He's obviously, if something happens to Arch Manning this year, he's the first guy off the bench. And then, assuming Arch Manning is gone after the 2026 season, there'll probably be a quarterback competition between Lacey and Diabell. But, this is the future that we'll get our first real chance to look at, hopefully. And then last but not least, unless you have any more thoughts on that, Buck.
No, that's great.
And the obvious one, just no injuries.
Yeah, no injuries. And I one of my deals would be to see from Will Muschamp's defense turnovers, ball going the other way, coughing it up, hitting guys and making them cough the ball up. And once again, I just think this is a physical mismatch. And when you hit some of these guys from Texas State, they are going to feel it like they're not going to feel it all year. Nobody from Washington State's going to hit them like this. Nobody from San Diego State is going to hit them like this. So make them release the ball.
Look at you knowing the new schools in the Pac-12.
Well, they're all states. Are San Jose State a part of that deal too?
They are all states, even though they're not actually all states.
Yeah.
No, San Jose State is not a part of the state.
No, they're not. They remained in there with – oh, no, Boise State's a part of this.
All right, I want to have you, before we get to some sponsor shout-outs, there are 8 teams in the new look, refreshed Pac-12. Make it make sense. I can't. I'm going to see if you can guess all 8.
Boise State, San Diego State, Washington State, Oregon State, Texas State, Fresno State.
Yeah?
Oh, hell.
2 more. They're actual states, too. They're not cities.
I know. Nevada State in there?
Is that a school?
I thought it was. I know Nevada's one, but I didn't know Nevada State, they had a Nevada State.
That is not in there.
Somebody said Appalachian State.
Not App State.
App State's staying in where they are. They're still in the Fun Belt.
They're still there.
Utah is in the Big 12. Utah State. So if Utah's in the Big 12, Utah State is in that group of states.
Yeah, you cheated. I saw you looking at Jake's comment there.
Is Idaho State in there?
There's one more that I don't think you've said.
No, I know I'm missing one of them.
I'm making sure I have the right one here.
San Jose State?
No, I already told you they're not in the league.
Okay, then I'm done.
Colorado State.
Oh, Colorado State.
Yeah, Utah and Colorado State were the 2 that got you, but
Colorado didn't get an opportunity to get out of the Big 12 and join them so that they have a chance of winning 3 games this year.
Going back to the Pac-12, they were there for a few years.
This is a great time to go back.
Yeah, and they'll start adding high schools in that conference soon. Be ready for that. Gosh. So there you go. There's the 10 things that – anything else that you had that you wanted to mention, Bob?
Yeah, once again, I'd like to see this defense turn the defense – and it's not so much the tip ball turnover, just turn them over on contact plays. You know what I'm saying? Guy run in with the ball, quarterback from the blind side, things like that. Those kind of turnovers I'd like to see from this defense. You know, if Will Muschamp is talking about being aggressive and, you know, Sark wanted an aggressive play by the defense, let's see it in game 1 against this team. They should have about 3 or 4 or 5 turnovers in this football game.
I'll take that. Yeah, I didn't have that on my list, but I agree 100%. I'd love to see a few takeaways because that's all we're hearing about in practice is how many takeaways this defense is getting.
Yeah, I mean, if they're intercepting Arch Manning, they should be intercepting the quarterback from Texas State for sure.
I was about to say the exact same thing, right? If you're forcing turnovers against Arch, who didn't turn the ball over, he obviously had some issues last year, but he protected the football very well.
Yes.
Even in his struggles early on, he was doing a pretty solid job of not coughing it up. If you could force him to make some mistakes, then hopefully Brad Jackson can be forced to make some mistakes as well. All right, we'll take your thoughts. The Dakota text line, 512-222-9328. Shout out to our great friends at the Circuit of the Americas. And the YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch live chats are obviously rocking and rolling as well. Before we get back, we've got some sound from Arch Manning and Juice Cryer to get into, plus odds for who's going to be the first Power 4 coach to get fired this season. We'll get to those topics next, but before anything else, Buck, how about a few more sponsor shout-outs?
Today's my day to head on over to Hat Creek Burger Company. Since 2008, founded right here in Austin, Texas, serving burgers, fries, and great shakes, of course. It's got a great chicken sandwich, queso fries, sweet potato fries there. Hat Creek Burger is always a great place for good food, good folks, and a whole lot of fun. Great playscapes for the kids. and happy hour for the adults over at Hat Creek Burger Company. Tons of locations throughout the state of Texas. Find one nearest you. You're going to love Hat Creek Burger. Get yourself a double. I'm getting myself a double today. I'm going big. No golf this week, so that means I'm going big with that and big shake today. Large shake along with the double.
Oh,
yeah, I'm going big today for sure. Maybe even I was going to say a large fry with that, but let's not overdo it, Buck. You know you're not going to have a large fry with all those big things. You're only going to have a regular fry, so enjoy that. Hey, some of the simpleness, once again, at Hat Creek Burger Company, I know this. When I get my to-go bag, BK, I'm always going to have napkins in it. I mean, I go to places and I freak out. I said, "You're giving me all this food, and what am I going to do? Wipe my face on my shirt?" Hat Creek Burger Company. Just remember, when you open up that bag, you're going to find there's always going to be napkins that they think even the smallest of things at Hat Creek Burger. Once again, at Hat Creek Burger Company, folks, there's something for everyone.
yes, indeed. Love Hat Creek. Shout out to them. Also, a shout out to our great friends at Kalshi. Before the season even kicks off, everyone's making predictions, including us. Who wins the conference? Who makes the playoff? Who's lifting the trophy at the end of the season? On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you could trade those predictions in a live market. Will Texas beat Texas State? Right now, the Longhorns are trading at a 98% probability, meaning a $100 trade would pay out $102, Buck. Does that interest you?
No.
You're not into that? Come on. It's Texas State.
No, I'm 100% sure. And there's generally, you should never be 100% sure on anything. I'm not going to mess with that. I don't need my heart rate even going up just a little bit at any given time during that game. Should enjoy that game next week. I won't do that for the extra $2. And some people would say, never don't snub your nose at a profit. I'm stubbing my nose at a $2 profit in that game.
Well, on Kalshi, you could trade much more than that. You could trade every Texas game. You could trade futures, totals, playoff odds, conference championships. It's all there. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Trade the draft pick, trade the game, and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app and use code Bucky to get $10 when you trade at $10. Super easy to make an account. Use the code Bucky. Helps us out a little bit. Also helps you out too. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
You know, I'm expecting to have that house at Breckenridge for you people by week 7 of the college football season. And by week 8, we're going to have a house at Breckenridge, and we're going to have one at Beaver Creek, Colorado. So you can take, if you want to go skiing one at a certain time, you can go skiing. If you want to play golf in the summer, you're going to have 2 different places. One is going to be your home to keep. The other is just going to be a rental property where you're going to go up there and rent for 2 weeks or so.
So we're going to have a permanent place and a second place that we rent out?
Yeah, that we rent out. And that's probably for skiing because I don't even know if I can ski anymore. You know, BK, I was thinking, but you think you could get yourself up on ice skates or go skiing with this back and this knee? I don't know if I can. I'd probably have more opportunities in skiing than I would on a figure skates right now. I don't know if I could stand up on figure skates. I think I'd be down in a hurry. I'm not going to do it.
You figure skated in the past, correct?
Yes, I figure skated in the past with figure skates on, flying backwards, you know, doing little jumps. I don't think that's not in the cards anymore. But get on a ski slope at a place, you know, I've done that in New Hampshire, but I don't know if I go to a place like Breckenridge where all the pros are hanging out, going down there on the professional slopes. My first time at skiing, I never went on the beginner slope. I started right at the top. Now, it took probably an hour to get down, going from side to side and doing all kinds of maneuvers, but I made it until I started to get the flow of it. I don't know if I could do that now. And I'm thinking maybe one fall could cause some real problems.
Dude, you could barely walk without falling. There's no way you could get on skis without falling. Come on.
Oh, man. No, come on, dude. Come on. You're right. I think you're right. I'm trying to make it out that I could probably be on skis. Those things, I probably couldn't even sit. I probably couldn't go on the lift. You know, when you get to the end and it kind of pushes you off, I'd probably fall down and hold up the whole thing.
I don't even think you could get the skis on.
Oh,
I don't think you could. Don't you have to like bend down or bend over to like strap them on?
yes, you do.
I don't know if you're doing that these days. I hate to break it to you, man.
Why are you busting the bubble?
I don't know. I don't know if I've never skied before. I don't know if I would know how to do it. Now I could bend down and at least get close enough, but
Yeah, I think you would have a better chance of going down the slopes than I would.
I think
Yes,
so.
yes, you would. That hurts me. I'll tell you what else hurts, folks. If you're seeking specialized patient-focused orthopedic care, contact our friends and the experts at Texas Orthopedics. Their physicians offer comprehensive surgical and non-surgical orthopedic care, including rehabilitation, spinal care, sports medicine, joint replacement. Their doctors are dedicated orthopedic surgeons, and their goal is to get you back into good health and the great quality of life that you deserve and that you want. Texas Orthopedics is the largest independent orthopedic practice in Central Texas. If you got a problem and there is surgical need, please go to our friends at Texas Orthopedics. For more information, go to txortho.com.
Yes, indeed. And also centextickets.com. If you're looking for tickets to any Texas Longhorn game this year, home, away, neutral, it doesn't matter. There's only one place you need to go to find your seat. That is centextickets.com. And don't forget to use the promo code CENTEX10. If you type that in at checkout, you're going to get 10% off of any ticket purchase, whether you're buying 1, 2, 5, 10. It does not matter. And it's not just Texas football. It's any football game. It's any Longhorn sporting event. It's any Round Rock Express game. It's any concert. It's any comedy show. It's anything. CentexTickets.com has seats waiting for you right now. All you have to do is log on from your phone or computer. And don't forget about that promo code, CENTEX10, for our friends at CentexTickets.com.
Bear says a 2% chance is better than nothing. No, it ain't. It is nothing, Bear. I wouldn't take that. All I hope for the Bobcats is nobody gets hurt for their team and they can go into the Pac-8 and have a good first year and do well and be healthy. That's all I can wish for them. I just don't want to see their players next week carted off the field at 2:30 because they just don't have enough strength and energy to play against a team like Texas. I think it's if I'm an opposing player and I got an opportunity to play against Texas, because I've been on that side before. Right? When I was at Boston College as a player playing against the University of Texas, it was a thrill of a lifetime to get hurt in 2 Texas games. It really was. But to see that, to see the burnt orange in Boston, now to see the burnt orange here in Austin was not fun because our guys just about died getting off the bus. And to think that we thought the baseball stadium was a football stadium when we were coming in was like, oh my God, look at this stadium. And so I said, no, it's over on this side. Check this out. And I'm like, oh man. But to suit up against a team like that, all you have, you can talk about how hard you want to play and how you want to succeed. But the fact that you can come here and play and your team leaves healthy going into your season, that will mean awful lot to Coach Kenny, I got to believe. He's going to be very careful in what he does with his team because he's going into a new conference and he's got to have players to show up, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's nice and respectful.
Yes.
But all I hope for Texas State is that they lose by 31 or more points.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to get anybody hurt. You can still lose by 31 points, or when the game time comes, because it's going to be up to 35 by game time.
Maybe. All right. Well, let's dive into some.
He sounds like a good enough guy. If you've ever heard him, he sounds like a pretty good dude.
GJ Kinney?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's done a tremendous job in San Marcos. Going into year 4, coming off of 3 straight winning seasons, 3 straight bowl wins as well. Yeah, he's been really good since taking over in San Marcos. And I don't want to say this because I love our friends down in San Marvelous, but I'm a little surprised GJ Kinney is still there. I'm surprised he hadn't gotten a bigger job yet. And maybe, obviously, if Texas State beats Texas in week 1, that guy's going to get hired on Sunday after the game.
Yeah.
But if they have another good season this year, I know Bobcat fans don't want to hear this, but he could start to get some interest from some bigger
Yeah,
schools.
I think he signed a new contract just the year before last.
He did. And that's great. And like we see that happen before. Good move by Texas State, lock him in. And part of that contract includes a higher buyout if somebody does hire him away. So unfortunately for Texas State, we've seen guys sign extensions and bigger deals. And then if power conference comes calling, power conference school comes calling, then yeah, thanks for everything. But I'm getting paid more over there, so I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got to go.
And that's usually how it works. But yeah, GJ Kinney, good guy, done a really good job. I mean, he played at Texas. It's like, I think Longhorn fans really like and respect him. And I'm glad it's only the second time Texas and Texas State have ever played. It's the first time since 1930.
That's kind of weird. That's weird, yeah.
So I don't know if this would be happening if GJ Kinney didn't play and attend the University of Texas for part of his playing career in college. Yeah, it makes sense that they're playing each other. And again, he's done a good job down there. And I think Texas State is going to compete in the new look Pac-12. I don't expect them to win it, but I expect them to be in the top half of that league. I expect them to make another bowl game this season.
That shouldn't be hard to be in the top half of that league for sure.
Well, the top half is only 4. You know? If you're in the top half of the SEC, you get 8. If you're top half of the 12 with 8 teams, you only get 4.
No kidding.
So it works right there. So we feel good about GJ Kinney. GJ Kinney's not going to get fired at Texas State. But we do have some odds, Buck, from our friends in the desert. The first Power 4 coach to get fired in 2026. You care to take a guess on who the favorite is for that?
Bill Belichick at North Carolina.
Bill Belichick is 4th on the list, so you don't have to go down too far to find his name. He is at 7-1. And well, it hasn't been a great offseason for him, coming off of a not great first actual season for him.
South Carolina's coach, Beamer.
Shane Beamer is 7th on the list. A little further down, he's at 11-1. You're going with the Carolinas here early. Not bad guesses. You're in the ballpark.
Give me number 1. I need to know who number 1 is so I can. Who's the number 1?
Okay. Mike Norvell.
Oh,
at Florida State.
Yeah. They got the money now? Have they gathered the money just in case?
I guess. Vegas makes it seem like they have the money. It feels like Mike Norvell would have already gotten the axe if Florida State could afford his buyout. You make it into another year, the buyout goes down. So it'd be a little cheaper for them to move on if they decided to do it this year.
Well, they're not going to fire Dabo once he loses to LSU. They'd like to, probably.
Mike Norvell is 3-1. He's the favorite on this list. I've got the top 15 pulled up, and Dabo Swinney is not there. You're like the leader of the fired Dabo fan club, I think.
I just think the only reason I'm into the firing mode is because he won't quit. He won't give some young guy an opportunity to get Clemson back to, well, it's not like they're back to where they were because he was where they were, you know?
Yeah. He's the only reason anybody under the age of 30 knows what Clemson is.
Correct.
So, yeah, no, Dabo Swinney's not on here. Maybe some Clemson fans are ready for a change, but I don't think he's going to get fired. He's done too much there. And I think Clemson's going to be good this year. I don't think they'll make the playoff, but like I think they're going to win 8-ish games. And I don't think they would can him for that. And they were in the playoff 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, our guy down at Baylor is going to be see you later at number 2.
Is 3rd on this list.
3rd, yeah.
He's at 5-1. Another one of those guys where it's like if Baylor had more money, you wonder if he would still be around. Dave Aranda's easy to like as a good guy, but he's not cut out to be a head coach in a major conference, and I don't even know the Big 12 is a major conference anymore. That guy's going to get fired. He's going to be a defensive coordinator at some SEC or Big 10 school, which is where he belongs. Yeah, he's been there for 6 years, going into year 7.
It's amazing he's made it that far.
Yeah, 36-37 is the overall record. And he had some great years early on, Well, they won a Big 12 championship in 2021, but 5-7 last year. They were 3-9 in 2023. That thing's been spiraling. So you've got number one.
How about USC's head coach?
Lincoln Riley is 12-1. He's 8th on this list.
Wow, there's a lot of guys that are kind of scary.
Yeah, so I'll go down the list at this point.
All right, give me number 2.
So number 1, Mike Norvell at 3-1. Number 2, Mike Loxley at Maryland.
That guy should have been gone last year.
He's at 4-1. I know not a lot of people are thinking about Maryland football these days or ever. But, he is going into his 8th year with the Terps. Back-to-back 4-8 seasons for him. So I'm with you. I'm a little surprised he's still sticking around College Park. Dave Aranda, 3rd, 5-1. Bill Belichick, 4th, 7-1. Luke Fickell at Wisconsin, 5th on the Vegas odds. First Power 4 coach to get fired. He's at 8-1.
And that dude will get another job pretty quickly, I believe.
I thought that would work at Wisconsin.
Yeah, but after about year 2, you were starting to figure Wisconsin, no matter what that guy does, is Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean they had some great years under Paul Chryst.
They had some pretty good players too. They had some linebackers come out of their offensive linemen, and they just couldn't turn the corner there.
Yeah, and they were winning double-digit games like repeatedly last decade. Luke Fickell, 3 years, 7-6, 5-7, 4-8. That's not trending in the right direction.
No,
I don't think. So yeah, I thought Fickell was going to work there. He was great at Cincinnati, led them to the playoff, got that gig, and it's been all downhill since. Scott Satterfield is at 10-1. Speaking of, is that guy at Louisville?
Is that Louisville? No. Louisville's is that former coach.
Oh, he's at Cincinnati. He was at Louisville and went to Cincinnati. Yeah. Okay, I knew he was at one and went to the other one. So there you go. Shane Beamer, 11-1. Lincoln Riley, 12-1. Lance Leipold at Kansas, 14-1.
They were in love with that guy 3 years ago.
Yeah, look, he did a tremendous job getting Kansas football back to relevancy. Everybody knows KU was the doormat of college football for a long time after Mark Mangino ate one too many players and lost his job. Sorry about that, Jay. That was uncalled for. That was unnecessary. They were wandering in the abyss for a while. Lance Leipold got him back, which is great. Forever grateful to him for that, but they've kind of stagnated. And I think they expect in the Big 12 to be better than they were last year. And if they don't figure it out, then I could see him getting let go at some point.
Is there a new coach at Michigan State? Because whoever goes there is always going to be in the hot seat.
Pat Fitzgerald.
Oh yeah, so he's in for a couple years before they get rid of him.
A good coach. Did really well at Northwestern. Got fired for something he didn't do. Allegations that were proven to be false. So, yeah, he's had success in the Big Ten. It'll take a while. That program's dead right now.
What about Willie O'Brien?
Bill O'Brien's 22-1. So we'll do a couple more here. Jeff Lebby at Mississippi State's 20-1. So you've got 2 SEC coaches in the top 10. Bill O'Brien, 22-1. And then Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, 25-1.
Yeah, if they win like 3 games this year, I think he's going to be gone. Yeah, he's going to want to be gone, and they're going to want him gone.
I think you're right. And with Colorado, a couple of weeks ago now, they posted some video on social media of one of their practices, and I mean the offensive linemen look like middle schoolers.
Yeah, it looks like a high school team.
It's like
physically, they don't look very good.
Who's running the strength and conditioning here? Is anybody running the strength and conditioning here? I don't know.
Yeah, boys, we're about to get to Colorado because of Colorado here.
Oh, your cousin's going to be betting against the Buffs this season. Is that what I'm hearing?
Sorry about that, Dion, but your group, you can't. It's hard to play college football with a high school team.
I like that. Yep. So there's your list. I feel like they did a pretty good job. Those are, to me, the coaches who are on the hottest seats.
Nobody in the ACC. We didn't mention. Did you mention the ACC?
Mike Norvell's first.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Florida State is in the ACC.
Bill Belichick's 4th.
What's it gonna take for Bill Belichick to keep that gig, BK? Just a winning season.
Break up with his girlfriend.
Dude, he's leaving. They're losing staff people and, his right-hand man. Well, doesn't need a right-hand man when he's got a left-hand woman,
I was going to say, he doesn't need his right or his left hand anymore with
No.
Jordan Hudson around.
Oh, wow.
He's got him taken care of in more ways than one, it seems. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the deal with North Carolina. They play this Saturday. That's the biggest game of week 0.
Yeah, they play in Ireland, right?
Yeah, TCU in Dublin. And are you from Ireland? Because you're making my you-know-what Dublin. I think Bill Belichick's going to drop that on Jordan Hudson this week.
Yeah, college football screams of Bill Belichick on the sideline for game 1 in college football.
So that's a big one for Bill Belichick, I think. Like, TCU's a solid team. Sonny Dykes played for a national championship a few years ago. And that would be a bad loss for TCU. Just the way people are talking about Bill Belichick and North Carolina. You're absolutely right. Obviously, a big opportunity for Bill to get a nice win to open up his second season. Remember, these teams played last year to open up the year, and TCU won 48-14 in Chapel Hill.
Yes.
I don't know how TCU got screwed. The return game is not in Fort Worth. It's in Ireland.
Yeah, and if they had their quarterback, I would be going big with TCU.
And
I still should be going big because Bill Belichick has a bunch of little kids running around too again.
Yeah. I think TCU, I don't know if they've announced that this guy's their starting quarterback, but if memory serves, they got some dude from Harvard to play QB. So, smart guy.
Did you get a chance to meet him when you were over at Harvard Yard?
No, I did not. I did not meet the TCU quarterback when I was at Harvard a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately. Actually, I don't. That guy would make me feel dumb. Just walking around that campus was about the dumbest I've ever felt in my entire life.
It has an arrogant feeling about it when you're there, doesn't it?
No, it's just a different air too. Like I feel like
those buildings, those old buildings. Can you imagine those dorms with no air conditioning? You can imagine those being in the state of Texas, red brick dorms like that with no air conditioning.
People are looking at me like I had a clown costume on.
What are you doing here? You don't belong here. I can just tell.
I went to Texas, the Harvard of the South, as some say. I feel like I went to and graduated from a pretty decent school, but it ain't. Might as well be ACC for those fools up there.
Those people feel like they can smell you and tell the difference.
Probably could. Some of them were just going to the windows of their dorms, like looking at me like it was the peak of COVID, and I'm just walking around outside without a mask like I should. Like that's the reaction I was getting from the nerds at Harvard.
Nah, don't. It doesn't matter because they come from all over the world to go there. It's not. It's the school that makes you feel like that. They got some nice people in the state in New England areas. You've met some good people even when you were there. There's nice people there. It's just the school makes you feel that way.
Yeah, but then I remember they're all Boston sports fans, and I hate them again.
That does it for me. For some, no matter where they come from, they end up being Boston fans, and I'm like, that won't work.
Unacceptable.
It's very unacceptable.
All right, so there you go. The list of. By the way, I'm going to ask you. I guess we gave the odds, but considering the odds, who's your pick? Who do you think is the first Power 4 coach to lose his job in the 2026 season?
The dude from Maryland.
You going Loxley?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that pick. He's second.
Yeah, I think Loxley. Because he's just, Florida State would like to get rid of their guy, but they would like for him to. They would mind him flipping that thing around a little bit, and winning some games. And hell, if he wins 6 or 7, they're liable to keep him because they don't want to pay out the money. Loxley, they're just waiting to pack that dude's bags for him.
I think Mike Norvell's the favorite for a reason. And you're right, the financial situation does exist. But Florida State, they also play this weekend against New Mexico State. They'll win that game. But their next two, SMU and at Alabama. I know they beat Alabama last year, but they could very easily be 1-2. And that could very easily lead to the end of Mike Norvell.
Yeah, you're right, because Alabama is going to be mad when they come there.
I don't know. If North Carolina loses by 40 this weekend, could Bill Belichick get left in Dublin?
No, they'll give him one more game. Who do they play after that? Who do they play? Furman or somebody like that? Or North Carolina A&T?
I got to scroll back. They get a bye, and then East Tennessee State.
Yeah, he's got a reprieve. So he's got a couple of weeks to pack at least.
Well, then how about after that? At Clemson and Notre Dame the next 2 games.
Oh.
They could be 1-3, and that could be it for Bill Hudson.
Yeah, I'll start building our empire on that Notre Dame North Carolina game for sure. Because remember, Notre Dame hasn't played in a while. They skipped the bowl game. They quit on the bowl game. So they want to prove that everybody that's got them in the top 5, there's a reason why. So they'll take it out on Bill Hudson for sure.
You're right. They've had a longer off season than just about anybody else.
For sure. And they play nobody. Notre Dame plays nobody. We're going to build our empire on Notre Dame football. I hate to say that for you folks looking for that house in Colorado, but we're going to build our empire on Notre Dame football. We're going to force them to be good. Well, they don't have to be good with the teams that they're playing.
Yeah, some BC guy you are spending all of your coin, making all your coin on Notre Dame.
No kidding. Guess what? They're going to crunch BC too. I would never even touch that game. I am touching all of that game.
Yeah, and betting against Bill O'Brien is a sound strategy. I can tell you that from experience, dude, covering the Texans for a few years. All right, we'll take your thoughts. We'll get back into the Longhorn conversation. We've got some sound from Arch Manning to dive into. But before we head back to the 40 acres, how about another round of sponsor shout-outs?
Folks, our friends at Woods Comfort Systems have been doing air conditioning and heating, of course, for 71 years in Central Texas. When you've got reoccurring drain clogs, it's a sign of bigger problems. Let Woods Comfort Systems help you get to the source, proudly serving San Marcos, Kyle, Wimberley. Their experienced team will come and clear out the drain, get rid of the clog, find out where the problem is, identify where that problem is, and they'll do this. How about for $70? They'll make sure your drains are, whether it's in your kitchen or in your bathroom area, they'll do all of that. They'll bring that camera there. They'll stick the snake down the drain, find out where the clog is, and fix the problem for $70. Nobody's going to give you a deal like that. And they'll do that right now. Woods Comfort Systems. Give them a call today at 737-251-6199. That's 737-251-6199. It's Woods Comfort Systems. Nobody does it better.
No, they don't. Love Woods Comfort Systems. Nobody does it better than them. Nobody deals cars better than Roger Beasley Mazda South.
No.
That's not just my word. How about 30 straight Mazda President's Club awards? That's a dynasty right there. That's what's going on at Roger Beasley Mazda South. They are the #1 Mazda dealer in the entire state of Texas. You see Mazdas driving around everywhere. Chances are a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, maybe a family member is rolling around in a Mazda with good reason. These cars are incredible, super reliable, super safe, and they are beautiful as well. Check out the all-new CX-5. I've been driving one around the city for a while. I love it. It is gorgeous. It feels like a luxury car, but it ain't a luxury price tag. That's the beauty of Mazda. Plus, safety is a big deal for them. All-wheel drive is standard on all of their SUVs. You don't have to pay extra to be safe on the road. Mazda doesn't believe in that. They've got some great vehicles. Check out their entire lineup. But more importantly, Roger Beasley Mazda South, that's the place you need to go. If you're trying to trade in your current vehicle, if you're looking for new or pre-owned, they've got the best selection, a gorgeous showroom, fantastic people working there, the place to buy a new vehicle in Central Texas, Roger Beasley Mazda South. Visit them off of I-35 just south of Highway 71, or you can shop online at MazdaSouth.com.
And our friends over at Early Bird CBD, thank goodness I took that, put those drops in before I went into that MRI on Monday. I'm still feeling pretty good, BK. I've got a little bit of soreness, but if I wouldn't have put those in some water to be in that MRI machine for 45 minutes straight without moving around in there, I would have had some real problems today. Wednesday would be bad for me. Thursday would be bad for me. You know, that Early Bird CBD, I went into that machine. I came out of that thing. I felt really good. I felt comfortable. The next morning I felt good, and I'm still feeling good on a Wednesday morning. That's not what happened to me the last time I went in there without Early Bird. I went into that thing and I ended up with this lower back pain that lasted me for 3 weeks. And now I'm telling you, it was awful. And that's why I was fearing going in. That's why I gave a couple of droplets in there with my water. And man, I'm still feeling good. And boy, it'll help you out. As I said, don't always wait for back pain to come. If you want to feel good, just feeling good. BK takes it. He just wants a day of, and he's been moving stuff around. He's been traveling a lot. You've been in airports. You've been in airplane seats. You've been in different beds. Boy, Early Bird CBD, it works for me. It will work for you.
Yes, indeed. Well said. Love the Early Bird CBD. You're right. I take them with me whenever I travel. Helps me relax, helps me calm down. There's a lot of stress that comes along with traveling and the people who travel. And also, sleeping in different beds. Not always easy for me. That's where Early Bird CBD comes in. I love it. Buck loves it. We think you will too. Use the promo code Bucky at earlybirdcbd.com, and you're going to get 20% off your first order. Also, some love to McCall Custom Homes. We love them. Look, you want to love your home, right? Like, what's the point in buying a house or living in a house if you don't absolutely love it? Well, McCall Custom Homes can turn your home into your dream home. Maybe you want to start from scratch and build from the ground up. They do custom homes. But also, if you like your current place, maybe you like the location, but you just want to spruce it up, they can do that as well. McCall Custom Homes, ATX.com. That's their website. You can check out the gallery of jobs they've done over the years, and they've been around for a long time. It's a father-son team with more than 4 decades of combined experience here in Central Texas. So they know what it takes to turn a Central Texas home into something that is truly, truly special. 512-633-9580. That's Mike McCall's cell number. Call him, text him anytime. They do free estimates for listeners of this show. And again, dream homes from the beginning, or if you want to totally revolutionize and revamp your current spot, they are the folks to call. McCall Custom Homes. We build value into your home.
Thank you very much.
All right, we've got some sound from QB1. Arch Manning met with the Texas press yesterday. The Longhorns holding a player availability. We'll get to some sound from linebacker Juice Cryer on tomorrow's show, but we'll start with what we've got from QB1. Again, I always throw in this disclaimer before we play any Arch audio. He's very well trained. He doesn't give a whole lot to the press. His answers are short, succinct, very to the point. He ain't providing bulletin board material. If he was, you'd already know what he had to say before we even played these cuts. But we'll start with this one. Arch Manning was asked about the offensive performance in this past Saturday scrimmage. It's been well documented by a number of different folks that Saturday was not a great day for the Texas offense, and it was not a great day for Arch Manning himself. Here was Arch after practice yesterday talking about the offense's performance on Saturday.
Yeah, it was hot on Saturday. I don't think the offense, especially me, didn't have a great day, but I think we responded well and had a good day today, so I was proud of that.
Yeah, once again, it's not always about the scrimmage games. It's about how you do at practice, how you bounce back. You practice an awful lot. It's hot at practice. You have segments where they want you going at full tilt. And as long as you bounce back, that is fine. That's good news to hear from him.
Yeah, and it sounds like Arch has had a couple of good practices on back-to-back days, Monday and Tuesday, coming off of a rough showing on Saturday. Again, so much of playing quarterback is responding to adversity. You're going to have a bad day. What do you do in response? And Arch Manning has already proven that he can do a good job of that. We saw it in 2025. Yeah, he said it. It was hot. Not a great day for the offense. He didn't give too many details. He didn't elaborate too much, but sounds like things have gotten better. And we played the cut from Steve Sarkisian yesterday. It sounds like Arch Manning has had a very good camp. But, hey, everyone's got a bad practice. What about the leadership on offense? And everyone's talking about Arch Manning taking more of a leadership role.
Yes.
And he was asked about taking more of a leadership role, but Arch Manning, maybe being a leader, didn't just talk about himself. He used that as an opportunity to talk about some of the other guys taking charge on the offensive side of the football.
Yeah, I think it's been good. The cool thing is this year we have a lot of leaders, so you don't have to just rely on yourself. We got Hollywood, we got Connor Robertson, Gooseby, Brandon Baker, a bunch of guys who stepped up in leadership roles, and it's been fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to talk about himself, but obviously he's a little bit, more vocal than he's probably been. This is where he should feel his most confident. after playing a full year, having the ups and downs that he had, he should be able to be the leader. That's when I talk about the poise. If he shows the poise, the rest of them will start to show the poise, BK, whether it's at practice or in the games. I mean, his poise will be the most important poise of all. They'll take his cue when it comes to all that. And that's the leadership that he needs to show to me.
I thought it was interesting that the very first name Arch Manning brought up there was Hollywood Smothers. And, he brought up 3 other names. Well, all 3 of those other guys have been at Texas. Hollywood Smothers is obviously a transfer who is playing his first season in Austin. Now, he's been with the team since January, and that's not to say that if you transfer, you can't be a leader. But that was one of the latest additions in the Longhorns portal class. And, again, he's obviously a newcomer here. So to hear that he's been the guy, and he was the first guy that Arch Manning brought up from that standpoint, I think it's pretty interesting and cool.
Yeah, he seems like he's the old man of the team. And he's a young man, but he's been around college football, and he's had some success, even in the ACC. It feels like he should be that guy in the backfield. That's why I think he's going to be the first one to take the field for the Longhorns in the running back room.
Interesting. Malik Brown is technically older and more experienced because he's a 5th-year player, but I do agree with you. I think Hollywood Smothers will get the first carry. He'll be the quote-unquote starter for Texas at running back. But he's taking a leadership role. And then, again, those offensive linemen, no surprise to hear Trevor Gooseby. He was at SEC Media Days. We know how good he is. We know how experienced he is. Connor Robertson's been here forever. Speaking of guys who have been around, 5th-year center. And then Brandon Baker, 3rd year with the program, 2nd year as a starter, obviously making the move from right tackle to right guard. But it's interesting, Buck. Like, some people might poo-poo leadership and, who really cares? It's not that important. Texas only had 2 offensive players selected in this year's NFL draft. Like, usually when you think of leaders, you think of guys like that, right? Who are upperclassmen, who are the best players on the team, who are ready to go pro. Texas only had 2 guys drafted last year. One of them was DJ Campbell in the 6th round, who was kind of a quiet, more mellow guy by nature. And the other one was Jack Endries, who went in the 7th round, who was a transfer who was here for like a cup of coffee. So having a lot of draft-eligible guys come back and just having more talent on offense, there's going to be way more than 2 offensive players drafted in 2027, I could tell you that. I thought that was interesting.
And just having them in your program, having guys that have come up through your program is really important too. It just is. I mean, people have a lot more respect. When a guy walks in too, now Cam Coleman is going to get respect because the guy's been getting respect since high school. That's just the way it goes with him, and that's just the way he presents himself. But having guys that are in your program for 2-3 years that maybe hadn't been great players, but have just been around the program, they understand what the coaches are looking for. They understand the head coach. They understand the position coach. They understand what Texas is all about. That's important to have that kind of leadership too. And Texas has those kind of guys right now.
Yeah, the culture wasn't in a good enough spot.
No.
That's according to the head coach, who's talked endlessly about spending more time on culture this offseason and starting that culture work earlier. And I think part of that has to do with leadership. And again, according to Arch Manning, I think Arch is doing a better job leading. I think that's obvious. And he's clearly more confident now than he was at this time last year, but also some other guys stepping up there too. You brought up Cam Coleman. Perfect segue, Buck. Arch Manning was asked about Cam Coleman and what he's brought to the Texas offense.
Yeah, Cam, just the way he works and him as a person has helped the other receiver room. They're all close. The way he attacks every day has definitely motivated the rest of the receivers, and it's been a fun time since he's been here.
He's not a lollygagger. He doesn't play around. I think, obviously, the minute he puts his uniform on and heads to the practice field, it just becomes professional. He just does things in a way that, you don't ever have to say, hey, pick up the pace with him. His pace is always his motor is always running, and that's good to look at when you're a young guy. That's good for somebody like Wingo, who probably is a good worker himself, but to see the way that other guy works, and him not having the great success in college so far, but the people understand, NFL scouts and people understand what that guy is capable of in the right system. But he shows that, even though it didn't work for him at Auburn, he's how good he really is. And that's good to have. That's a good model to see.
Yeah, more of the same in regards to Cam Coleman. Just the work ethic, like you said, has been everything Texas wanted and then some. And it's funny, there's a follow-up where Arch was asked about Cam Coleman, because Cam Coleman's met with the press before at Texas, and he's been pretty quiet. He's given short answers. He's been pretty reserved. And they asked Arch, like, is he kind of like that? And he's like, no, he talks. He talks on the field. So, yeah, Cam Coleman's got some personality. He's got some swag. He's got some attitude to him. But, again, sometimes you worry about that with wide receivers. Sometimes you worry about that with high-priced transfers. Like, are they actually here to work, or, hey, they got the paycheck. Okay, check cleared. All right, I can kind of take my foot off the gas.
Yeah, and I can talk about how good my game is, and I don't have to perform. I just talk about it. I'm still getting paid. He looks like a guy that's just trying to better himself every day.
Yeah, we've heard that dating back to the spring. So obviously great news. When your most talented guys are some of your hardest workers, that obviously helps everybody. And last but not least, one more bit of sound from Arch Manning here. He was asked about his relationship with Connor Robertson. Of course, the center QB relationship is very important. One guy has his hand in the other guy's gooch every single play.
Yes.
Yes, there's a lot of shotguns. Sark's offense is primarily shotgun, so that's not the case. But either way, obviously, those two guys having some chemistry is important. And I didn't realize this, but Arch Manning and Connor Robertson are very, very close. And we also may have ourselves a new nickname for the starting center.
Very important. Crow's my best friend. What a guy. What a guy. He's got great juice. It's definitely a benefit having such a close friend of yours as your center. I mean, my brother was my center in high school. Now, basically, another brother of mine is my center, so it's a blessing.
Yeah, man, when you got your hands up in there, you want to make sure that you're in good terms with a guy, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you start that upper hand in there, depending on, snap counts and things like that. So you want to make sure that you understand the guy pretty well, and that guy understands, the kind of pressure that you're putting underneath his undercarriage.
Yeah, you got to watch those taint hands right there. Now, let me
got a lot of juice, lots of juice,
lots of moisture down there, as you like to say, Buck? Now,
yeah.
if you're a quarterback and you're ever ticked at your center, you got your hands under there like that. If you're ever mad, do you just do this with the top hand? Just
I mean,
up on the play before.
Sometimes you see those guys underneath center. Certain guy, I watched Jeff George. I mean, that guy would. First, that upper hand would go up, and it would kind of pop a guy a little bit in there. And then you see the guys, the centers, kind of raise up a little bit like, yeah, okay, I know you're there. Believe me.
Cup check.
Yeah, I know you're there. That's fine. You don't have to do any. You don't have to do any more. Just get it firmly. You don't have to slap it up in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, Arch, a big fan of Connor Robertson. That's about as long of an answer as you'll ever get from Arch Manning. And he said, love the guy. Oh, what a guy. And he talked about having his actual brother be his center in high school, and now having a guy who's like his brother be his center in college. That's pretty cool. The Texas offensive line got better when Connor Robertson started playing center down the stretch last year. But how about the nickname? Did you catch the nickname that Arch Manning?
You call him Gooch?
He didn't call him Gooch or Taint or Moist or Undercarriage. Some other words.
I know he said brother. I know he said brother twice. I didn't know the dude was his brother. But I know this. If you had if you're in high school, if your brother was your center and you were the quarterback, you could get him back in a lot of ways every day, couldn't you?
Oh my God, no doubt about it. Probably both ways too.
No kidding.
Center would get the opportunity to take some shots every once in a while as well. Here's the nickname. It's at the very beginning. I'll pause it right after.
Very important. Crow's my best friend.
Crow?
Crob. Connor Robertson. C-Rob. Crob is the
Is that like short for crabs?
You're saying he is crabs?
I mean,
are you recording this?
No, is that like short for crabs? Crab?
I assume it was just like Connor Robertson, like C-Rob Crob. I didn't think there was an STD reference coming. But I don't know. I don't know what Connor Robertson's into. I don't know what he's got condition-wise. We don't need that. Two other offensive linemen are already out with something else. We don't need
no, we don't need that. We don't need that infestation.
Crob. Are you buying that?
Yeah, that's okay.
I got to ask you this because – during basketball season, you had nicknames for most of the Longhorns. Is that going to carry over to football season? Are we going to get some Bucky original nicknames this year?
I don't generally do that with football players. I leave them alone.
Okay. All right.
They end up hearing about it somehow through the grapevine, and they want to come back at you. So I'll leave them. Basketball players don't bother anybody.
You better be ready. You better come correct then for basketball season. It's going to be a big one for Sean Miller. So I need you on your game like you were last year.
I like the TCU the kid that came from, was it TCU that's there?
David Punch. See, that's an easy one. You can come up with nicknames. His last name's Punch.
I think he's the enforcer already.
Oh, he's a stud. Yeah, the highest rated player in the portal that Texas brought in this year.
It just seems like they brought him there to be an enforcer for the boards to help out the 7-footer. I like that.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk about basketball. Not that I'm excited to rush through football season. I'm pumped for football season too. But yeah, Sean Miller's done a great job. It's a fun roster that he has put together.
Absolutely.
In year two.
Now I don't mess with football players. I mess with football teams. I mess with football teams.
All right. So we'll have some nicknames for teams around the country this year.
Yeah, maybe some teams, but not the individuals.
I like that. All right. We'll get to the BBK news momentarily. We'll pay our respects to Dolly Parton, and we've got an update on the San Francisco 49ers owner. It's hilarious.
That was sad. I'll just say this about Dolly Parton. That was sad, BK. That was sad news yesterday because I've been following over the last month or so when she had missed a couple of events, didn't make it to Dolly World where she was supposed to be at an event. And then her making some statements that I'm back. My doctors told me I just have to shut it down for a while. And it was like, it was kind of a mystery what was going on. And that got kept silent pretty quick. And then all of a sudden she was doing well. Then all of a sudden she's dead. It's like, what in the hell?
Super sad. We'll talk more about that. An icon, a legend, losing her life yesterday at the age of 80. Real quick, shout out to the good doctor, Dr. Chet, and his great team at Sleep Cycle Center. Your sleep is very important. Don't mess around with your sleep. Dr. Chad got into this business because he lost his own father in his sleep. Why? Undiagnosed sleep apnea. Literally stopped breathing in the middle of the night. Boom. That was it. He's not alone. NFL Hall of Famer Reggie White lost his life in his sleep. Same reason. If you snore, it's not just annoying to the person that sleeps next to you or the people who sleep downstairs. It can be a sign of a serious health problem. Don't leave it to chance. Don't suffer that same fate. Don't even come close to anything like that. Reach out to Dr. Chad and his great team at Sleep Cycle Center. 2 Austin area locations. State-of-the-art technologies. It's not just CPAP. People hear this stuff and they're like, I don't want one of those giant CPAP machines. They're annoying. They're loud. I'm not going to wear one of them. They've got other options to fix your snoring and to make your sleep problems go away. SleepCycleCenters.com is the website. Again, 2 Austin area locations. Free consultations for listeners of this show. And if you mention Bucky and BK, you're going to get $100 off an at-home sleep study from our friends at Sleep Cycle Center. Also, Waterloo Printing and Graphics. If you need books, reach out to Adam and his team at Waterloo Printing and Graphics. I think I'm meeting him today to pick up more gear for Bucky.
Nice.
We'll be ready for the season. We'll have some giveaways for y'all too. 512-300-9641. That's Adam's number. Reach out to him if you need gear for a business, for tailgate parties, for whatever you have going on in the not too distant future. 512-300-9641 or find him on Instagram at Waterloo Printing. All right. Mentioned it a little bit, Buck. The legendary country music icon passed away yesterday at the age of 80. Apparently, after a brief battle with cancer, the iconic singer, songwriter, actress, businesswoman, and philanthropist, she touched so many people from all over the world in her time on this earth. The Queen of Country, as she was known, Buck, passing away at the age of 80. Sad day for so many people.
Yeah, I always talk about 80 that's the day, that's the age where I can then say I'm old at 80. It doesn't mean you're through. But for her, she was still ready to go. She had no thoughts of retirement. Boy, and that cancer wasn't like in a long-term thing. That was pretty quick because of over the last couple of months, she had talked about working, and then her doctor said she needs to slow down. So that happened pretty quickly.
Yeah, it did. And you mentioned, I think she did an interview like 4 days before she passed where she was saying her health was on the mend and she was feeling better and she was expecting to, get back on tour and showing up in public again. And then just a couple of days later, boom, it's over.
Yeah, I wish I would have got a chance to meet her. I know, doing some, getting little letters from Taylor Swift when I first started and on the country station and stuff. I never got a chance to get to Nashville and meet Dolly Parton. I would have loved to have done that.
Yeah, and it's you've seen tributes from people in all walks of life showing their respects to Dolly Parton and Taylor Swift, Jane Fonda, Eminem. You've seen politicians, you've seen actors. I saw Sylvester Stallone posted a video about her. It doesn't matter where you're from or who you are as a person. My girlfriend and I were talking about this yesterday. She was kind of the great unifier, right? Like
she was just a, take away everything. She was just a good person. It just seemed like not the money, not the fame, not the hair, not the boobs, just a good person that you'd like to be around, and she just would make you feel good about yourself.
Not the boobs. What's going on with the boobs?
They're big.
They are. You know what? What's still sad? It just kind of shows where we are as a society. You search Dolly Parton. You start typing it into Google,
right?
And it starts auto filling up the rest of your search. One of the things with Dolly Parton, you type in her name and it says, "Are Dolly Parton's boobs real?"
Yeah, of course it would say that. Yeah, I mean, they're just big.
She just died. Can we wait 2 days before we ask that question?
Yeah, I mean, she just seemed like the kind of person that you could, if you needed a cab ride and she was in the cab, would she say, "Look, I'm going to pay for this. We'll just talk. I'm going to pay for this cab." She would give you a cab ride with her, BK. She wouldn't just hail a cab. If you were standing there and you were going somewhere, she'd tell you to get in. Let's go for a ride. I'll take you where you need to go and I'll pay for it.
No doubt. No doubt. Great person. Won 11 Grammys, 3 Emmys, 6 Golden Globes, a Tony Award. Obviously, tremendous cultural influence, the philanthropic work with Dollywood and the Dollywood Foundation. They don't make too many like Dolly Parton.
No.
And I know a lot of folks thought and were hoping we'd have her for a lot longer on this earth, but unfortunately, she hit the end of the road yesterday.
She hit it when she was old at 80.
That's old, right? You say 80 is the age where you are officially considered old.
Yeah, I mean, you're not confused. Well, for her, she's old and dead, but it's just the age of old. It doesn't mean you can't go on to be in your 90s. My mother-in-law is 97 and she's still cranking it out. But to me, it's just I can just say at 80, I will no longer say, "Oh, you're a young man." "No, you're still young." No, dude, I'm old now. You would say I'm old. You would say I'm old today.
I'm more focused on you talking about your mid-90s mother-in-law cranking one out.
No, she's still going. She's still
the phrase I would have used there.
She's still kicking, brother. That is wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. So rest in peace to Dolly Parton, a legend, an icon, and an influencer to so many around the world.
She did so much stuff for underprivileged kids with her books and all that stuff, free books at schools and everything else. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know how to make the transition to this story, but we'll try to transition to this story. We've got a follow-up on the Jed York story that we talked about yesterday, Buck.
Yeah. Oh, no. You know what we missed this week, BK? Did I see earlier in the week that Texas had lost a volleyball game to Arizona State the other day? They lost that game, did they not, that volleyball match?
Okay, we do not have a follow-up on Jed York. Yes, they did, and I brought it up yesterday, so thank you for listening.
Okay. I didn't realize we brought that. I know it was one of the days, but we didn't actually talk about it. They actually lost that match, huh?
They did. Yeah, they lost their season opener over the weekend, neutral site game against Arizona State.
Was that a tournament play? Was there a lot of different teams in there?
It was just one of those early season events.
Oh, okay.
They played 2 games. The AVCA First Serve was the name of the event. It was in Milwaukee. And Texas, preseason number 2 in volleyball, they lost to Arizona State, preseason number 12 in volleyball. So not like a horrific upset or a colossal loss or anything like that. But they did lose in 4 sets to Arizona State. They bounced back on Monday against unranked Marquette and needed 5 sets to beat them, but they did beat them. But yeah, not as smooth of a start to the year for Texas volleyball as we had hoped. This weekend, another early season event in Vegas. They'll play number 18 TCU on Saturday and then number 1 Nebraska on Sunday.
Wow.
So
that's a hell of that's some pretty good games to start your year out.
No kidding. Hopefully they get some things cleaned up in practice this week because I watched those games. I watched the Marquette game. I was on the road at a wedding for the Arizona State game, but Monday against Marquette, they a lot of service errors, a lot of silly mistakes, stuff that we're not used to seeing with Jared Elliott's squad. So new players, obviously, they lost some talented pieces from last year. But again, preseason number 2, they've got some of their best players, Kari Spears, Torrey Stafford especially, back this season. And yeah, they have not looked great, but 2 games in, they got a long way to go. So plenty of time to clean it up.
Somebody says that 80 is that, hey, they had a good run age. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, maybe that's not old. Maybe that's a better way to put it. They had a good run age.
There is no way for me to say this without sounding insensitive, but here it goes. Once you hit 80, and maybe this is aligned with your thoughts, 80 is old.
Yes.
Once you hit 80, I am no longer surprised if you die. Right?
Okay.
Obviously, there are levels to it. You could be sick for 10 years and die at 80, then it's okay. But and obviously, on the other hand, you could just suddenly something happens. You have a heart attack at 80. You're perfectly healthy. You're working out. Everything's fine. But once you hit 80, it's I can't sit here and pretend like I'm that surprised if something happens to you.
Yeah, I think I'm that. I mean, I'm above that because I'm the guy who had a stroke at 29. I've had another stroke in between. I've had some really weird things happen. So none of that would, anytime I get a headache, if something happened to me, it shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, I've had a major stroke at 29. I've had another stroke, a couple of years back. So stroke is the way I feel like, but 80 just seems like, my parents lived to be 88 and 87. So it feels like that's about the time where you're old and anything, like you said, anything can happen from that point on.
It's closer to 90 than 80. So if you make it,
yeah, I know for them, they were closer to, you're right. They were closer to 90s.
Yeah. Look, I hope everyone makes it past 80. But again, that to me is like the bar where, all right, if something happens to you at that age, I'll be sad.
Yeah, but it's not a surprise.
But I can't sit here and sound surprised. I'll be honest. Dolly Parton, I heard she passed yesterday. I thought she was closer to 90. For whatever that's worth, she made that. Yeah,
I thought she was in her 80s already.
I was like, all right, well, she's very old, very, very old. So, okay. But yeah, 80 years old, rest in peace. Hopefully we still sound kind of sentimental, even though we just dunked on her a little bit. But there you go. Why today's not so bad. We'll save the Jed York story for tomorrow. National Women's Equality Day. Your favorite day of the year, Buck?
Absolutely. I yes. Equal pay for equal work.
I'm going to let you keep talking until you say something dumb. I thought it would happen by now. It hadn't happened yet.
That was used to be one of the themes, equal pay for equal work. I mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. No. Yeah, good one. Good one, ladies.
Good one. Yeah, that was always a good one. That one always, yeah.
National Dog Day is today as well.
Yeah, I've got my fan in the garage for my outdoor dog. So I'm a horrible person. My dog is an outdoor dog, but he does have a fan, a cooling system that he can go into that I actually put ice into the machine and water. So he doesn't live out in the sun. There's a place for him to go in and get out of the sun. But there's a lot of times he would prefer to be out in the middle of the grass out there where the sun is and laying in the grass and laying on the hard floor of the garage. I can't help that. That's on him.
It's on him. A couple birthdays real quick. Your guy, Tom Coughlin, celebrating a birthday today, Buck.
How old is Coach? He's got to be, speaking of the word 80s.
80 on the nose. Yeah. Careful. Herm Edwards.
That curmudgeon old dude. He'll be 107 and still around calling plays somewhere.
There you go. Herm Edwards.
His great grandkids.
James Harden. Watch out, strip clubs in Houston.
What is he? Is he 32?
No.
36?
37.
37?
been around. Elvis Andrews, Rangers legend,
Yes.
celebrating a birthday today. Melissa McCarthy, Shirley Manson, Macaulay Culkin, John Mulaney, your Hollywood birthdays. And born on this day now dead, Mother Teresa and Don LaFontaine.
Mother Teresa was old. When she was old, she was already old.
Yeah, she lived 87. That's a good run right there.
There's another good run. She had a good run.
Good job. Good job there, Mother T. Good
Yeah.
job. All right, well, that'll do it for a hump day edition of Bucky and BK.
Good job, man.
Yeah, well done to you as well. Thanks to you people for tuning in. Of course, thanks to our sponsors for allowing all of this to happen. Chip Brown will join us tomorrow. Normally, we talk to him on Wednesday, but we'll chop it up with Chip on a Thursday show and plenty more Texas football. And we got to start previewing the season. We got games on Saturday. So we'll start talking about week 0 tomorrow as well. But that will do it for this one. Again, thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you people tomorrow.
Welcome.
Okay.